Okay, that last clip, I ran it a little long, demonstrating the change out of the magazine when you have use of only one hand. I demonstrated the right hand very thoroughly. Depending if you're watching this on video, like a CD, or if you're watching this on a YouTube type format, then a YouTube type format, you want to look and search for the clip where I'm using only one hand to change out the pistol magazine. So we go ahead now, move on to my left hand, using my left hand to change out the pistol magazine. So my right hand's injured. I have use of only my left hand. I'm going to grab my belt, as I've shown in other videos, pull it around, make use of my left hand to get my pistol. Okay, I'm using my left hand only. I've expended a few rounds. I want to change up my magazine, the pistol magazine. I can then place the pistol under my arm. Well, here's the training can be in place. You can drop the magazine out here, or you can drop it under your arm. Which depends, normally you don't worry about that magazine, you just get rid of that magazine, put a fresh source in there, and you tap it, make sure it's in there good, ready to go. Okay. Or, you have this pistol out here, I'll go through the whole bit of drawing again with one hand over. Train here, you do it in one hand, I don't think, okay. So I need to go ahead and develop this with my left hand, the right hand injured. Okay? I want to change the magazine out. The second option will be between your legs. The first one's under your arm, the second one's between your legs. On the one between your legs, it is a lot better to go drop the magazine first. That way it's clear. You get your fresh magazine. You usually index them with your left hand, so you already know it's a little quicker to move to the right hand on that part of it. There's good and bad dealing with both. Put the magazine in that pistol. Again, tap on your leg. Make sure it's seated well, seated properly, and you're ready to stay in the fight and keep on going, staying in the fight, staying in the battle, okay? Now, some options are, some additional options are, well, I want to go back real quick, just to review one more time, either under the arm to change the magazine out, or between the legs. I would say in heated combat, go ahead and drop the magazine either way, whether you do under here, or whether you go between your legs. I would change the magazine out first. That way you're not having to mess with it. Okay, so now the other thing to consider is, what if you run out of ammunition and your slide is locked to the rear, or your slide is forward and you need to chamber around? Well, you drag your belt around, come out like this, got your pistol in your weak hand, you're using it to shoot. Okay? Well, in this manner here, the thing is that the slide locks to the rear. When you get that locked to the rear, you do that by itself while we're shooting, of course. So the slide is locked to the rear. Now, you need to use your magazine release if you can. You're going to practice with the left hand as well as your right. But a couple of items to consider are, in a stressful, heated combat situation, if you just can't use that refined motor skill to drop that slide release, and I might have called it magazine release earlier, terminology, but anyway, I am speaking of the slide release. If you cannot use that finite motor skill in a crisis, stressful, adrenaline rush-filled situation, then in that case, you want to do something like this. And this works for, I spoke of earlier, whether you want to chamber around with the slide forward, or you want to just drop the slide. In this configuration here, the slide is locked to the rear. So you're firing, the slide is locked to the rear. Let me get a new magazine out. Okay. Oh, and it won't go to the forward, the magazine, excuse me, the slide will not go forward because I do not have a round in the magazine. So that's something to consider. That's why snap caps are extremely good, and I probably should have gotten them before doing the video, but this is, as all my videos are, pretty much impromptu. Just have a moment, want to put something down, and want to convey a few ideas and a few concepts and a few training ideas. So, one more time, left hand. My pistol here. My left hand, okay. I'm shooting, whatever. Now, my slide box to the rear. Then you change the magazine out. Boom. There's one option here. You're armed. Seated. Okay. Now, if the magazine is seated, that would be excellent. At this point, I could just tap it and then run the slide forward. Since I don't have snap caps, my empty magazine will not allow me to run the slide forward. So I'm going to pull the magazine out a little bit so I can demonstrate running the slide forward with one hand. Okay? You still might want to go and tap it again to make sure that it's seated, depending on how much time you have. Okay? You're getting back into the action of things. Of course, the other method of the slide block to the rear would be you drop the magazine, throwing into your arm, getting your magazine, putting it in here, and then you run the slide forward. And again, the slide will not run forward as long as my magazine is empty. It has to be full. But if it's full, this method works excellent, which is either carrying the belt or, there's magazine to drop out. So it's on the belt, whether you're using your boot, so that's the slide, whether that's probably the best method is either your belt or your boot. You don't need a pants, but especially BD pants up to the pocket meets the pants, it's a really good place to practice slide. Things you want to consider. So, strong hand, weak hand, magazine changes, running the slide forward. Snap caps work really well because they will allow you to run the magazine forward, run the slide forward with the magazine and the pistol safely without having to use live rounds. Because of the empty, as you were seeing, I was having that little thing I was having to explain, is that with this empty magazine, I was not able to run my slide forward, but I just want to really emphasize the fact that it's a great method to work out your belt line, your boot, or your pants, or your holster from this side. Any kind of a gadget over here, magazine pouches, belt, boot, pants are all great at charging the pistol, wrapping around, whatever you want to call it, running the slide, dropping the slide, all those work really well. And of course, don't overlook the obvious of magazine release, slide release, but a lot of times your finite motor skills, maybe out in combat, maybe able to find it, maybe stressed, and you don't have to use it right now. You got that slide. Okay, here we go. Slide to the rear. I need it now. I can't get to the steady slide release. And you're ready to go. So, hope you got something out of that. For a lot of people, these are the basics. This is a review. But you don't have to watch this. So, for those of you that are liking this and that are getting something out of this, I'm really glad, and I hope so. I do wish you safe and effective training. Always keep safety in mind. Always train safely. Make sure that weapon is unloaded. Don't always treat it as though it were loaded. Thank you very much.